Namaste and hello. I greet you with my whole heart. How are you this day? I hope that you are well. I am very well. I've been mentioning these past few classes that I have really taken some time to read your letters. And I'm always very interested in little details of what you've observed in the class and what you find interesting. And one of the letters that I received was from a woman who said, you said, Lilias, you mentioned, Lilias, that in the middle of an exercise to enjoy it. And she said it was just like a light bulb going on. I didn't realize that in the middle of a posture or an exercise class that I could enjoy where I was and enjoy what I was feeling. And then she said, and then I took it out into my day, and I had moments where I really felt so joyful. And this really made me very happy. I too have been very intrigued with the experience of joy and what it means to me. And I've observed that happiness and joy sometimes get very intertwined, and that can be confusing. I've also noticed that in my own life that happiness comes and goes and then comes back again. It's something that I feel when a project is finished or that I've purchased something new. But joy is different. It runs like an underground river beneath feelings of happy or unhappy, of pleasure or pain, serenity or struggle. And the energy of joy is creative and playful, and yet it has the power to transform your life and those who are close to you. Think of joy as a melody that plays itself without an instrument. And as we release the stress and strains from our life with Hatha Yoga and other tools, we create more space for joy to bubble up and be a natural, joyous part of our day and our life. So you might think about that today and maybe tomorrow and ponder it for yourself. So let's stand up, and we will start warming up with some sun exercise, starting in your standing position, Tadasana, a standing position, and get off the couch and come join me in Surya Namaskar. It's a 12-part exercise. I'll go through it slowly, and I know by now many of you do know it. Perhaps you can on your own tomorrow or the next day, perhaps go to 6 and to 8 and then to 12 of this 12-part exercise, which is how it used to be done many hundreds of years ago. So standing at the top of your mat, or wherever you are in your room, standing in Tadasana, and this is your pose of collection. And palms of the hands are together in Namaste. Tuck the pelvis under, the breastbone, the bone of life is lifted, and you are connected right at the top of your head. So there's a long line from your heels way above your head. And breathe in, collect yourself. And exhale out, diving down with the hands, and stretch the arms above your head, slightly pulling behind the ears. Take your time. Try not to arch your back, but tuck under and keep lifting the contents of the ribs upwards. Fine, and continue breathing as the stretch happens normally now. You take a breath in. Hold your breath comfortably and lift the ribs out of the waist. Keep lifting out of the back. You pause, you exhale for 3, and you start to stretch forward. Nice, easy stretch forward. We're just beginning to warm up, bending the knees slightly, letting the head hang, and do keep the knees slightly bent. Remember, as I've said before, the knees, the safety caps of your back. And just take a moment and maybe walk your hands to the right, around behind the back of your right foot, and in front of your feet, and then around behind the back of the other foot, and then back to your center, and a little moon walking here, just lifting the heels and lifting the heels, a little yoga moon walking. One leg is straight, the other one is bent. Take your time and your breathing. Perhaps you can hear my feet crack. I've got very cracky feet. All right, bend both knees, hands on either side of the feet, and right leg all the way back in your lunge pose. So here you are in your 4, your lunge position. And do look to see that the knee and the ankle, foot form a 90-degree angle, and now straighten the back leg. This is just a warming up position, not the traditional classic lunge, but just pausing here, and bring your nose to the knee and take a breath in. Stretching the back leg, and then drop the knee lightly and lift the chin in your lunge position. Breathing comfortably. And now take a good breath in. And you can either hold your breath or breathe comfortably in this 5 body straight position. It's the plank pose, but try not to sag in it. Presumably you're getting stronger and stronger, pressing in on all the points of the hand, lifting out of the wrists. And 6, come to the knees. All right, now elbows in close to your ribs, and then you just bring the breastbone between the 2 hands and chin lightly to the floor. 7, place the whole body to the floor and pull the shoulders back and down. All right, now look down the front of your shirt, and this helps you just to lengthen your upper neck and stretch the back legs, and then lift the nose, the chin, the breastbone. Tuck under and inhale comfortably high. Nothing is in the lower back. We'll do a little more of this in a moment. Now 8, turn the toes under, jackknife the hips up to the ceiling in your dog stretch. All right, take your time here. Let's lift off the heels and go one to the floor and the other one up. And then change. And once you see the posture, once you know the posture, then don't turn your head and look at me, but just let the head be very long. Good, long back. And now into 9, back into your lunge pose. And this time the right foot comes up, so it goes right up between the 2 hands. Now, if you get stuck, and some of you will, going from the dog pose up into the lunge, come onto your knees. Reach down and just pull the foot up until you get that swing and that fluid motion. It's okay. All right, let's stretch the left leg. Take your time, bring your nose to the knee and take a breath. Here, your back muscles open, they feel good, they relax. And exhaling, just dropping the knee down, and the gaze is forward. Long neck. Now you're going to use your breath. You're going to exhale almost out from the back of that heel. So breathe in and exhale forcefully out through the nose, not the mouth, and ease the knees. And here you are. You're back into your standing forward bend pose. Let your head hang. Notice that you probably are starting to warm up a bit. Just let your body hang. Reach around behind the back of your knees. Hold on to your elbows. And just go down a bit, but please ease your knees if you've just started. Fine. Now lift your head, put the hands on the knees, and let's lengthen your back. One arm up and the other arm up, and you notice I'm just putting the hand against the knee, and this just supports my back. And now both arms up and go up to 11 position. Now, pause here. Take your time. First you tuck under, and then you lift the ribs out of the waist, and you're breathing. Now take a breath in, arc back, holding the breath, and then 12. Palms of the hands together, and take a good breath in, and exhale, tiredness out, and out, and out. Now let me stand in the other direction. Perhaps it gives you some different sort of a dimension, and we'll do sun exercise, Surya Namaskar, and this time we'll do it with the left side. I'll also be talking a little bit more too about the breath and the breathing. So 1, breathing in, tuck under, and exhale out. Inhaling, lifting, and when you inhale to here, just do not hold your breath for the moment. Just lift and get yourself ready to go back into number 3. Now breathe. Breath in, grow, holding the breath. Only 1, 2, then 3. Exhale, stretching forward, easing the knees. Good. Let your head hang for a moment. And just walk your hands around to the left, center and right. And now both hands on either side of the feet and left leg all the way back into your lunge position. Let's put both hands on top of the knee and going down. So you stretch the front of the quadricep and that hip hinge, and then release and down. Just to where it feels a sweet discomfort, you pause and then you pull back. And a sweet discomfort, Pause, not pain, and pulling back. Let's do a little variation here. If I raise my arms above the head, and here we get a little bit more of a stretch for the ribs, and turn. And here I'm twisting, and the arms are in a T position. And a little variation here. Hands are parallel to my legs. Look over your left shoulder. Then back to center, and go into 5 body straight. The good friend plank pose. You're lifting up out of your wrists. The body is not sagging, and you can breathe. Now taking just a comfortable, continue breathing. Bring your knees to the floor, elbows into the ribs, and exhale down, chest and chin. 7, whole body to the floor. A little business here is just pull shoulders back and down. Tuck under and inhale comfortably high, comfortable cobra. Exhale down into your dog pose and feel how good the second dog pose feels. Long back, heels more to the floor, head between the upper arms, long stretch. And 9, swinging the left foot up between the 2 hands. Reach down and grab it if you get stuck. And then let's do a little hands onto the knee and then going down. So we stretch the right side, and I usually contract the right buttock muscle, the seat muscle. This protects the back. And let's stretch the arms up to the ceiling. Lift the contents of the ribs up and then turn to the right. Arms in your T position, looking around to the heel of that back foot. And then back to your center. Raise the arms up again. You're going to inhale and just tighten the seat. Lift the ribs out of your back as you arch back just gently, and then hands on either side of your feet. Take a breath in, and like you have an afterburner on the back of that heel, exhale. Both feet together. Standing forward bend. You could put your hands out in front of you even, or hands on a little footstool. If you're very stiff or tight, let your head relax. You're stretching the hamstrings. And now let's bend the knees, come up halfway, and arms stretched up. Let's go right up into your 11 pose. Tightening the seat muscle. Inhale, lift, hold the breath gently, arcing back. And then 12. Palms of the hands together. Good, here we are, shoulders down from your ears, breathing in and exhaling out. And now just pause for a moment. Pause and just enjoy how the body feels. Beginning to warm up, energy beginning to flow through you. Close your eyes or open the eyes. Just feel the body, feeling the moment, appreciating it. And let's sit down. Sitting down, and if you have your blanket or a pillow handy, we're going to start with a runner's stretch. Now, if you're a little tight, and many people are in the hips, a runner's stretch is just tucking the one leg back. This is to stretch the front of your thigh and this hinge of the hip, because we're going to do some I think they're wonderful stretches, but this is an area that needs to be stretched all the time in all of us. The incorrect way would be to turn your foot like that. It can create an unfriendly feeling, shall we say, in the knee area. So turn the foot so the toe is facing back. It's all in alignment. And if you feel stress in the knee, reach around like I'm doing here. Grab a hold of the calf, and then pull the calf out. Just take a hold of the fibers of the muscle and pull it out. Good, that creates space in your knee. And my other hip is up on a blanket or a pillow, and just pause right here. For some, this is just fine for today, but do not tolerate any pain in your knee. Knee is an unforgiving joint, and I can't possibly know if you've had a recent injury or an old injury. And if it feels good, then you go back onto your elbows and you take your time. You're breathing. And then, without twisting, come up onto the hands and let's change the leg. Now, I'm just going to sit on the blanket again. This just raises the hip up to give a nice alignment to my hip and to the spine. Tuck the foot back, and then remember to pull the muscle, just grab a hold of the fibers and pull it around. And then just leaning. Well, I'd like to start here because for some this is just fine. If your knee is way high up, Stay right there. Knees off the mat, just stay right there. And if it still feels okay, go back onto your elbows and no more. But there is absolutely no pain in the knees or your foot or your ankle. And then come up without twisting and still using a firm pillow or a blanket. We're going to lie down and continue, and I'm going to fold this blanket so hopefully I'll have very few lumps or bumps to get in my way. And I'm going to lie down on the blanket and be sure that the blanket is just as here for a little aid. It helps to lift the front part of my body, because what I want to do is this type of a warming up. It's a comfortable cobra, but the placement of your blanket is important. If your feet come off the mat, well, then you haven't got the placement of this helper, this pillow blanket, under the hips properly. So you can see where mine is, and just place the arms alongside of your body and grow long legs so the energy of the posture goes down from your hips to your toes, looking down the front of your shirt. This lengthens your neck. Now lift the forehead, the nose, and the chin. Scoop the pelvis under. All right, now breathe in. Exhale, lift the chest up and stretch the arms back towards the feet, and then down. And exhale, lift and stretch. Now if you have no blanket, that's fine. Just adds just as a little help. Just any way you're doing it, scoop under, lift comfortably high and down. Exhale, lift. The inhale comes naturally. Exhaling, lift. Feel the difference, or the two stretches going on here, stretching from the hips to the toes and from your hips upwards, up through the chest and down. And exhaling, lift and down. That's a nice beginning for a warm-up. Remove your blanket if you've used one, and we'll do a cobra and then a high cobra. All right, now just watching here for a moment. To do a cobra, the hands are beneath your shoulders. Shoulders are back and down, and looking down the front of your shirt, and stretch the legs out in the back. Brush forehead, nose, and chin. Scoop the pelvis under, and inhale comfortably high. The hands are just like ornaments. And lower the chest down. And that's what I would call a comfortably high, a comfortable cobra. And again, brush forehead, nose, and chin, scoop, and lift. And then lowering down. Now stretch this is my right arm, so stretch the right arm back. All right? And turn your chest so it is facing the opposite way, and my chest is going forward, and I reach the other arm. This is my left arm, just reach it back as in a bow sprit. And you're breathing comfortably. Now come off. You can watch your screen if you need to. Come off it, clasp your hands, and then just stretch the arms back behind you. And really a wonderful stretch. Breathing comfortably, and then change. And now you can see this in a little different way. My left arm goes back. I slide the breastbone forward. This stretches this hinge of my shoulder. Fine. Now the legs are just there as I stretch the arms back. And I sort of like become a bow sprit. Press the chest forward. Then come off the posture, reach around, clasp your hands together, and then straighten the arms back. And again, I turn and look over my shoulder, and now I can straighten the legs, and it feels wonderful. Shoulders down from your ears. And then release. Come onto your knees. Come onto the knees, and we'll do a very easy twist, just sitting in a very simple way with the ankles crossed. Now I have my right hand to left knee, and then the other hand is behind me, and I'm just simply going to twist to the left, back to center. It's a nice complement to those cobras. Is a little easy twist. Twist any way that you wish, if you'd like. Left hand to right knee, and then right hand behind, then twisting slowly. Navel to the right, ribs right. Space in the shoulder, and then without any tugging, looking over your right shoulder. And then you release. And now come onto the knees. Come onto the knees and just sitting for a moment, stretching your right arm and stretching your left. And perhaps you'd like to just look for a moment as we're going to do a camel pose, or the beginnings of a camel pose. I'm going to turn my toes under and press the pelvis forward. And just stretching the toes out. Again, it's that same feeling of energy from the pose going down and energy from this posture going up. Place your hands into the small of your back. My thumbs are facing towards my spine. Press the pelvis forward, increase your blade squeeze, tightening the seat muscle, and then lean back to grab a hold of one heel, then the other heel, and then I increase my blade squeeze as I breathe. Then, only then, when you are very comfortable, there's no pain in your neck, you drop the head back. And then you lift the head, you release your hands without twisting, and then sit. Camel pose. Let's try this one more time, all right? Especially if you're watching. Come up onto the knees. Turn the toes under. Place the hands into the small of the back and press forward, tightening the seat. Lifting the breastbone. Increase your blade squeeze. This is the dome of a camel. Then you lean back. Right heel, right hand. Left heel. Increase the blade squeeze. Lifting very comfortably out of the back. Drop the head back. And then chin to your throat, release without twisting, and sit down. Grand, very nice. Camel pose, Ustrasana. Holding on to your toes for a moment, inhaling and exhaling out. And then inhaling, coming up, and then straightening. We're going to do a forward bend. It's an old friend, straightening the legs out in front of you. Sitting tall into a forward bend. Eyes are closed and sit tall. Reach back and pull the seat muscle back. Legs are stretched out in front of you with the knees slightly bent. Arms stay alongside of your body, palms turned upwards. The breath is natural and easy. And now imagine that you are opening up your inner eyes. Become aware of the lumbar, the pelvic bowl, and allow this area to become filled with feeling. Sense the natural curves of your spine. Each vertebra and curve become one column of sensation, of feeling. And now bring your awareness to the curve of the upper neck and lengthen it by opening an imaginary drawer a fraction of an inch within your neck. And shoulders down from your ears. Feel the sensation in the front of your body. Let this tactile sensation lead the body forward. No anticipation. Keep the sensation alive. When you feel muscle reaction, back off, relax. Then make the sensation more alive and proceed forward. It is rooted in the present moment. Be the adventurer, exploring the unknown through each movement and the stillness at the end of each movement. Go down as far as the body allows without reaction. Back is relaxed. Abdominal muscles soft. Rib cage separates from the abdomen. Arms are long. Breath is silky. Give up all tensions. Nothing to achieve. Free yourself from your head and enjoy this timeless moment. And then slowly, very slowly, come back up to a seated position. What a wonderful way to do a forward bend. And now perhaps you are hearing one of my most favorite pieces of music to move to, which is Pachelbel's Canon in D minor. And I'd like to pause and say thank you to some of my teachers who have continually shown me through their example the art of giving. Sri Swami Chidananda, Guru Mai Chid Vilasananda, Angela Farmer, Dr. Jean Houston, Patricia Sun, and Jean Klein. Namaste to you and to so many namaste.